This fall. Tough to hold on to that thing when somebody hits you like that.
Jim Kelly back at the controls. He's on the 36-yard line. That is Sanders in motion. He's going long. That is Johnson again, incomplete at the 2-yard line.
You don't even go for popcorn in one of these games. You don't dare get anything to eat against Houston. Johnson, very, very exciting receiver. His statistics, #1 in the league, speak for themselves. Remember, in this offense, they read and go the opposite way the defensive back goes. Much like basketball, you take the path of least resistance. Johnson has done that. You see he's got the back behind him there. As soon as that back turned, he went. Maybe should have caught that ball, Johnson. He's dropped 2 today. And I guess if he caught everything, though, he'd be, I don't know.
He'd be out of his league, that's for sure, yeah. Kelly has Mosier to the near side. McNeil, top of your screen. Sanders in motion. They're going to give it out to Todd Fowler. Fowler some room. 20-yard line. Can't go all the way. Gets a block. 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. Wow. We've got 9:41 to go in the first period. Houston's already scored 2 touchdowns, 36 yards. Kelly flipping it off here to Todd Fowler.
It's a blitz, and it was the perfect call. A little slip screen to Fowler. Take a look at Kidd, number 61. Watch this block. Just destroys the man, and Fowler walks in. Very, very tough on Oklahoma to get points scored on him early like this.
As we mentioned at the outset, they've lost their last 4 ball games by an average of 28 points in Houston. Trying to make sure that trend continues. Fritz, the extra point. This time, nobody is there with a hand. It is good, no questions about it. And the Gamblers lead 14-0. The crowd here at the Astrodome enjoying the treat so far. Gamblers in front. We'll see in front of the Breakers, 7-0. That's a first quarter score. And I'll tell you what, we're seeing some kind of action already here. Gunslingers lead the Federals 7-0. That came in the first quarter of play. Again, Fritz was his 3rd kickoff of the afternoon. Oklahoma barreling across there at the 42-yard line. 17-yard return there.
Excuse me, Corey. I used to play the up back on the wedge there, and they used to tell us, if you do get your hands on it, pitch back to the return man. But I've never met one guy in the wedge that ever pitched it back to the return man. We always kept the ball in spite of our instructions and tried to run it.
That's natural. I think that was Ted Sample with that return. So Oklahoma's going to try it again. Their own 41-yard line. We've had 2 touchdowns in the first 2:06. Kelly with 2 touchdown passes. He now has 30 on the year. Williams, some pressure. He's going long. Going for Williams. He falls down. It is intercepted. That is Eason. Make it Will Lewis at the 20-yard line, the 25-yard line. I'll tell you what, nothing going right for Oklahoma. A turnover on their 2nd possession, a turnover on their 3rd possession. Houston has the ball back. And when things are going bad, they just get worse.
This man was never open. Williams just threw the ball up. Look at the coverage. In fact, the offensive player runs into the defensive player. That's why there's no call. He goes down, and that's the result. We've got an interception. Houston has the ball again, and if there's anything that you don't want to see playing the Gamblers, it's them with the ball.
I wonder if Houston's defense is wondering if they're going to be on the field today, huh?
Would you please watch the ineligible downfield?
So Kelly and company once again on offense. 26-yard line. Draw play, Fowler. Right side, not much. Gets about 3. Fowler, an interesting story. We saw him play, Kevin, 2 weeks ago against Michigan. Up to that point, he'd rushed for something like 130 yards. Had more than 140 that day. Last week, another 100-yard game. He's got more than 400. He has really come on. And Miles Davis told us last night, if he had to pick one guy as the toughest, meanest, most competitive player on the whole team, he would pick Todd Fowler.
Fowler is the beneficiary, I think, of a passing offense. He runs a lot of draw plays, and draw play is a big yardage play. Usually you get 6-7 yards even if you don't get a first down.
2nd and 5. the middle. Nice catch out there. That is Sanders. Good job. Down to the 44-yard line. Sanders comes in the ballgame, the number 3 receiver in the USFL. He's a good one.
8 catches, 227 yards last week. As you see, 67 receptions. That'd be good enough to lead most leagues at this point in the year. And he's so far behind his own teammate, Johnson, that he has no chance of catching.
Fastest guy on the team, his speed, they tell us, is 4.28, and that is moving.
I've had cars that didn't go that fast.
I couldn't do it in my car, I know that. First down, Houston, their own 45-yard line. They give it to Fowler. He bowls his way across midfield. Darrell Goodlow is there to bring him down.
I'll tell you something. What this offense does to a linebacker, it makes him sit back on his heels. As a linebacker, you want to lean up. Now watch Beeson here. See Beeson moving back. He thinks it's pass because that's all they do. As soon as he takes that step back, he gets set up for a block. He's blocked. And now look at Fowler with the momentum as he comes in. Beeson gets in on the tackle. But hey, that's 6 yards. And the reason for that is because Houston likes to pass the ball on almost every down. They get you sitting back on your heels. You have no momentum, and it's just simply easier to block you.
Doug Williams shaking his head in the sideline next to his favorite receiver, Al Williams. They're trying to figure out what's going wrong. They got to turn things around. They're down by 14 points early in the first. That was Kelly swinging it out to Sanders. Incomplete. There's a flag on the play. Might have been too much time. Motion on the Gamblers. To look at our officials. Burl Sorgan, the referee. Tom Myers, the umpire. Stuart Ross, Ted Kalana, William Fett, James. I'm going to have trouble with this one. Foglatance, I guess, and James Anderson. Can you say that name? Can you say that name?
I've never been able Illegal motion. Number 88, offense. Still second down.
That's Scott McGee. The penalty. Still second down. Ball on the 45-yard line for Houston.
This is a type of offense that really should be penalized a lot. They do a lot of crazy things, spread people out. You shouldn't be able to hear the snap count. Look how wide these guys go. But frankly, they do pretty well with those type of penalties.
Kelly, some pressure, gets it off to Johnson across the 40, loses the football at the 35-yard line. Rod McMillan is there to chase him out. For another first down for Houston. In this run-and-shoot offense, you know, we've discussed it. Nobody's really been able to stop it. Teams have tried to blitz. They've tried man-to-man. They've tried zone. And there really is no direct answer as to how to stop this offense.
The simplest way to understand offense and defense is to think that offense creates space and defense tries to eliminate it.
Indianapolis 500 time trials coming up after this broadcast. The final hour, of course, last chance for Racing's Elite to qualify for the 500 next Sunday. That's live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'll tell you, that last hour is always crazy. One of the great hours in all the sports, really. The drama is terrific. First down, Houston, 37-yard line. Kelly wants more. He's giving it to McNeil. McNeil struggling close to the first down at the 26-yard line. Kelly's got several receivers he feels comfortable to go to. McNeil, Johnson, Mosier, Sanders. They all can catch the football.
Let me talk a little bit more about offense and defense. Offensively, as I said, you try to create space so that you can get yardage. Now, this offense, because it's so far spread out and it spreads the defense out so much, just by lining up, you create space. You make a lot of room for those receivers to run around back there, and that is the object of offense. Once you complete the ball, you've got a lot of room to run with it. That's why Houston averages over 400 yards a game. They get a first down there. One of the things that you try to do against this team is cut down on the space. Get up on those receivers. Don't give them a lot of room to run down, and certainly don't let Jim Kelly run around back there. That's what Oklahoma's trying to accomplish here, and frankly, they're not doing a very good job of it, as you can see by the score.
6 first downs for Houston, all of them coming via the air. I guess the one way you have a shot at this thing is if you got 4 monsters on the defensive line who can outdo the other offensive line. You might have a shot to at least slow it down.
And bad defense, you need great personnel to stop this up.
Kelly pumps once. He's being chased, and he is brought down. First sack of the night. That is Bob Nelson, the nose tackle tackle out of the University of Miami. He knows Jim Kelly real well.
If you could have a big play in the first quarter of a game, which generally the plays, let's face it, with 3 quarters to go, you don't think of them as game-saving plays. That almost was a game-saving play. Down 14-0, Kelly gearing up to throw for another touchdown. Got to turn Houston around, send him in the other direction. Look at those stats. 7 for 9, 156 yards. There are quarterbacks that don't do that an entire season.
I mean, 156 and 2 TDs. A lot of guys would call it quits and say, I'll take it for the day, right? We got 5:07 to go in the first quarter. Jack Pardee looking on. Likes what he sees. Johnson in motion. Kelly coming near side. Another sack. He is brought down out of nowhere, and there was nobody there. Curtis Anderson comes in. He is the #1 sack man for Oklahoma. That gives him 6 sacks on the year. And what was the problem there, Kevin, on the left side of the line?
Well, it's just a great hit, and Kelly is a big guy. He doesn't go down easy, but nobody gets out to block that man. And as he hits Kelly and drags him down, I think the official probably blew the whistle on contact, and he continued to drag him down. Kelly jumped up, threw the ball in his face. You never get the big guys mad at you, though. That's not a good idea.
Sets up a 3rd and 27. Ken.
One of the things they were having problems with, Oklahoma started out trying to play 5-6 defensive backs, and that's good on coverage, but it doesn't help you with pressure. Tough to blitz with the big people. They've gone more to a 4-man front, and they're sending some big people now.
3rd and 27 for Houston is not out of the question. Kelly throwing, his man fell down at the 27-yard line. That is Johnson, number 22. He was shaking his head. He just happened to slip. Kelly had thrown the ball where he should have been, and Johnson just wasn't there.
Well, Oklahoma went to straight man-to-man. They put a little pressure on Johnson, made him make a move there, and he couldn't keep his footing. And they're playing hard at the corners now. The Outlaws are coming tough on those corners, making Kelly pull up and throw the ball, and that's what we saw 2 weeks ago against Michigan. They had some success with that.
And I would think this kind of a defensive performance here we've seen in this series might pump up the offense a little bit and help Oklahoma get things rolling a little bit. This is Dale Walters to punt for Houston. High punt. Not a real, it's going to be out. He's trying to get it inside the 10 there, was unsuccessful. So, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Oklahoma. The punt, 43 yards. We've got a 14-zip ball game at the Astrodome in Houston. Back with more football. Outlaws got to get their act together. They've had 3 possessions here in the first quarter. First possession, no first down. They punted away. Second possession, Ernest Anderson fumbles. Third possession, Doug Williams throws an interception. They got to get the football down a football field. Steptoe in motion. The handoff. That is Anderson. Tries to spin away. He's not going anywhere. Cleveland Crosby makes the tackle for a loss of about 4 yards.
Defensively, as you see Williams go back, when he goes back as a quarterback, your assignment defensively is to wait until he passes the back, if it's a single back offense, as it was right there. He didn't pass him. The defense held up. He handed him the ball because it was a draw play, and the defense was there. Good play by Crosby. Really, it wasn't the tackle so much as the read. He read the draw.
Second, they're calling it 13 yards for the first. Big rush. Williams, look out. Caton brings him down at the 4-yard line for Pete Caton. That is sack number 10. He vaults into the lead on the Houston Defensive Club, and I'll tell you what, they're back down the 4-yard line, and Williams has got to be shaking his head about now.
They like Doug Williams here. They say he's a leader. When you're blocking for a pass, the one thing you don't want the guy to do is push you straight back. Look at this. As number 77, he doesn't trick him. He just overpowers him. 73's got to stand up and take a stand and hold him off and give some room to Williams. Getting back to Williams, they like him here. They say he's a leader. Even under the worst conditions, he's patting guys on the butt and telling them they're doing a good job, and they just plain like him.
Nobody questions his character. Third down, very long. They're calling it 19. Williams swings it out. He was under pressure, trying to hit Sample, not even close. And Houston will take over again as Oklahoma is going to set to punt.
Williams threw that ball away intentionally. There was just no place to go. He knew it. He certainly doesn't want to throw it laterally inbounds when he's standing in his own end zone. And that's a good play by Doug Williams.
Dangerous position to be in. Case DeBrune, number 3. Into punt. Number 6 punt in the Western Conference. Average just over 39 yards. Ricky Sanders back to receive for Houston. hits at the 40. It's a Houston bounce out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And once again, Jim Kelly and company have excellent field position. They'll take over 1st and 10 and a 42-yard line. They lead 14-0 early in the first.
At ITT, we heard you wanted a compact phone with added features.
Hello?
Hi, Grandpa. It's Susie.
Oh, Susie, it's noisy here. I'll make the phone louder.
The ITT Deluxe Trend Line has a volume control.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. How old are you now?
Oh, here comes the cake. Susie, I'll call you right back.
And the ITT Deluxe Trend Line has a dial that lights up. At ITT, we make a full line of quality phones because ITT.
So this is the new log cabin.
Thanks for giving me a hand.
Hey, what are friends for?
Here's to good friends. Tonight's kind of special.
Try us this way.
The beer we'll pour says something more somehow. Looks like we're about done, huh? Not yet, you're not. Tonight.
Not a bad day's work.
Next weekend we put in the pool. Let it be low and brown.
Cheerleaders here in Houston have plenty to cheer about. Their club is up by 2 touchdowns. Chicago Cubs fans have plenty to cheer about, too. The Cubbies lead Houston 4-0. Cubs, of course, one of the surprise teams in the National League this year, making a run at the top spot in the NL East. 1st and 10, Houston, 42-yard line. Kelly, the draw play. Fowler got some room across the 35, brought down at the 33-yard line by Terry Beeson.
Last week, Houston ran the ball once on 1st down when Kelly was in the game. Just once. Here they've got a 14-zip lead. They have good field position. And frankly, this is a good play for Houston always because everybody, as I said earlier, sits back on their heels. And Fowler has turned out to be the type of guy you want in the backfield when he grew up with.
The man who started most of the year, Sam Harrell, he's missed 4 games with an injury, expected back in about 2 weeks. In fact, he still leads the USFL in points scored with 94. But Fowler doing an excellent job in his place. Kelly, all kinds of time. He's got McNeil. They're going to give it to him? No. Had the ball and dropped it on contact with the turf. Barry Copeland on defense for Oklahoma. Just about had our 3rd touchdown pass of the day for Kelly. Let's see it again.
He's thrown to the backside of the rotation. Oklahoma came to his right, to the low side of the screen. He went behind it, and the hole was deep in the post pattern. The pass was good, and it was dropped. With all the gaudy statistics that Kelly has early in this game, he's had 3 dropped, and 2 of them could have been touchdowns.
3rd and 1. Fumble. Kelly picks it up. Dives across. I think he's got the 1st down. When things are going right, the ball bounces your way. And it did there for Houston and Jim Kelly. We'll see what happens as they jump off the pile. You can hear the crowd here saying, go, go, go. Apparently just short of the 1st down. Are they going to give it to him? No. Yes. 4th down. And inches.
They have a history of running a sneak. Kelly's a big, strong guy. 6'3", 215 pounds. Why bother to hand the ball off? What you look for here is the center. If he makes some penetration into the defense, Kelly will get to the 1st down. If he doesn't, because the linebacker stuffs him, they may have trouble going over the top.
Now the fans got what they wanted. Quick count. Kelly bowls ahead for the 1st down, as you can see, very easily. And you called it, Kevin.
When you watch something like that from home, if you think it's going to be a quarterback sneak, just watch the center and the 2 guards. If they get penetration, if they move forward, Kelly just follows him, gets right behind him, and drops on the ground for the 1st down. Here, take a look at it. Watch the center and the 2 guards. Guys come up to meet him, but see, they were able to take a step. Look at Khalil behind. For number 67, he's pushing Kelly from behind. 280 pounds behind you and 700 pounds in front of you. You ought to get a yard.
Passing yards. You can see there is no comparison. Kelly brought down the 28-yard line. Vic Koenig makes the tackle. Number 53 for Oklahoma. They're going to mark it at the 26-yard line. Gain of about 5 yards. We've got less than 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Gamblers lead at 14-0. It could be worse.
It could be worse, you're right. Outlaws did a nice job on the deep coverage there, and the only thing Jim had was that underneath pass.
Mouse Davis, offensive coordinator for Houston, tells us that there's nobody on his Gamblers team that has improved more since the first day of practice till now than Jim Kelly. Fowler, not much, a couple. Curtis Anderson makes the stop.
Anytime you play a team, especially a team with a wide-open offense like this, there's a period of adjustment. You're always a little tense, not understanding what they're going to do. Oklahoma's picking it up now.
Houston with a strong first quarter. They lead at 14-0. Back with the second quarter after this. Remember Jack, of course, linebacker with the Rams and the Redskins for a long time. Won a league title with the WFL back in '74. Coached with the Bears, with an NFC Coach of the Year back in '76. Coached the Skins for 3 years. He's been around. Kelly, scrambling left side, gonna keep it across the 20, inside to the 17-yard line, and that's a skill that Jim Kelly has acquired. A lot of people out of college didn't think he really could run.
Well, he had a problem in college with some injuries, and you can't put your shoulder down when it's hurt. The guy can't run the ball, as you see, almost 300 yards this year. He wanted to go to Johnson, cutting across the middle on that play, but Oklahoma's picking up the offense a little bit, and they had it covered. Of course, Kelly, the reason he's so valuable is that he's able to do other things, and one of those other things is run for first down.
Kelly going for his 8th 300-yard passing game of the year. Professional football history. That's only been done one at a time. That's by Dan Fouts. That is Fowler crashing across. He's down to about the 12-yard line. These are the statistics for the first quarter. Not too hard to tell who's dominating here. Look at the 19 total yards for Oklahoma. They only had 8 offensive plays. And, of course, the big stat as well is the 2 turnovers.
We talked about space offensively. One of the enemies of the Houston offense is getting close to the goal line. They like to run up and down the field with 40 or 50 yards. We have an injury, as you can see. It looks like it's Darryl Goodlow, linebacker. One of the things they need is room, space for the Houston offense to operate. When they get down near the goal line, they do go to the run more often because it's difficult for these 4 or 5 receivers that get into the secondary to find enough room so they don't run into each other. So Houston's offense really is predicated on striking from outside of 30 yards. When they get inside, they got to tough it out and grind out the yardage, and it makes defense a lot easier. Goal line defense a lot easier to play than regular defense because you only have a few yards to cover.
You know, Houston's got a record of 7 wins and 5 losses, but if you look back at some of the games that they've played, it could be a much better record. They've lost 4 games by 3 points, and 3 of those were in overtime. So I think the Houston record is 7-5, although that's good. Might be a little deceptive. It could be much better. Let's now go to ABC Sports Control. Jim Lampley. There's a lot of action around the USFL today. Let's check in with Jim and see what's happening, and we'll get back here and see if Houston doesn't score in just a minute. Banner, we're going to keep it here, see what Kelly can do. Johnson, or it's McNeil with the touchdown. I'm glad we didn't go away. Perfectly led pass from Kelly to McNeil in the corner of the end zone. Good for 13 yards, Kelly's 3rd touchdown pass of the day.
Well, Kelly's looking right at him. See, and Copeland, what he does is he lets him run away from him. They were together going down the field, but as they get close to the end zone there, McNeil just moved away from him, and Jim is relaxing now after his 3rd touchdown pass here early in the second quarter.
I think that Jim's got to be feeling real relaxed right now. Threw 5 touchdown passes last week. He's got 3, and we've got 13:31 to go in the first half. Fritz converts. Got ourselves a 21 8-0 ball game. Houston is